All right, lady.
Bye.
All right. So,
Yes.
another episode, Bite-worthy. Thank you guys for tuning in again. This is episode, I can't remember. I banked 2 or 3. Some are before, and Ben's was before you, but it was scheduled after.
All that matters is I'm the first lady.
Yeah, the first lady, the Amelia Earhart of this show. I guess it's not a podcast, but biting material is not something that we do in the industry, so it means you're taking material out of comedians' repertoire, using their mannerisms, their jokes, their material. We don't do that. However, someone who's worthy of stealing from, that's who I talk to. And this comedian is no exception. First day of spring, apparently.
Yes,
I didn't realize
first day of spring.
We have Cori, Isla.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be here.
No, you're super duper welcome. I didn't know it was the first day of spring until you just told me.
Everybody, I was at work today being like, oh, and happy first day of spring. They'd be like, oh, is it the first day now? Oh, but I did not know. I love being that person.
Okay, well then you informed me. So we're at Chili's today. She had a choice and she picked Chili's. So I do have one simple question. It's very simple. It's like, why? Why?
So Chili's, I have such an emotional attachment with Chili's because, you know, when I was in theater, every theater dinner was here.
Oh, those late nights at Chili's.
Yes, and you know, you just annoy the fuck out of everybody that worked here. Anytime I needed to go fuck my boyfriend in a parking lot and get a strawberry lemonade, this was the place that was open.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Just a lot of emotional
convenience,
attachment.
and it's not for the food even. No, food's not bad. Of the chains, it's not.
It's great, but like you can get like chicken tenders covered in sauce anywhere.
Anyway, very true. Okay, but at least we can say that people who choose Applebee's, just kidding, Applebee's. don't sue me. So I will say I love we talked about bits and jokes and writing. Writing is a big thing that we love to do. You more so than me. It's crazy.
Shit ton.
And I love your Six Flags joke so much.
Thank you.
Your Six Flags joke is funny because when you have a joke that if you're saying something without saying it, because the implication is it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah.
And so what other type of joke do you like to write or perform?
So in my brain, when I try to write something, I want to write what hasn't been said before, which is like most comedians. Like, your objective is to say words in a certain order that have not been placed in that order before.
True.
So, and then I think it's more shocking just because I'm a very tiny woman saying it. So I just like to find things.
Me too. I do the same.
I just like to find things that are either gonna look funny coming out of my mouth or things that haven't been said before. Those are like my favorite.
So good implication without saying without saying it, and then a cutting edge.
Yes, absolutely.
A cutting edge is a good one. So I think I love a good wordplay.
Whenever y'all are ready.
Yes,
okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're at a restaurant, so keep that in mind. I like a good clean but hard-hitting joke because I try and perform clean comedy. I really don't curse in my set, use too many sexual vulgarities or anything like that, and there's not a correct way to do it, so do comedy how you see fit.
Absolutely. It's
and
a very free market.
I love a good witty joke. I probably said this before. I repeated myself on this show a lot, but Mark Norman had a joke about how close we come to being pedophiles because he goes, and just think of the words and the order. So he goes, well, think about it. When I was in 3rd grade, I drank grape juice. And now I'm an adult, I drink wine. I was like, okay. And he goes, when I was in 3rd grade, I like 3rd grade girls. But today, I like adult women. He goes, but I still like grape juice. So I was like, that is
very solid.
It's so brilliant. It's so good. And I swear that's probably
I love jokes like that.
One of the best, like the most bite-worthy comedians out there because he has so many one-liners.
Absolutely.
And he's a killer. I might go see him in Alabama.
I tried to get my dad to go see Tim Allen.
Oh God.
Yeah. Even my dad didn't want to go see him do stand-up. And my dad loves
Really?
Tim Allen. He goes,
That's
yeah, I
wild,
don't know if I want to see him do stand-up, though.
I mean, what? And it's weird to have someone who's really funny in shows, movies.
You can be funny scripted, but, like, can you do your own shit?
Yeah, or maybe because he was a comedian, stand-up comedian back in the 80s. And
Comedy's a skill you got to keep doing.
yeah, and when you have hard-hitting but good, like a shtick, I mean, it works, but I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's an irrelevant one, but
No,
if you
it's
haven't
just
been
very,
doing it for
it's very
that long,
aged. It's very aged.
Okay, that's a fair.
Because my
criticism.
dad likes Last Man Standing, which is like the new show he's on, which is like supposed to be the Republican sitcom.
Yeah, there's
quote unquote.
not too many right-wing ones. If television were a bird, like the left wing would be pretty heavy.
100%.
Left wing, it'd be flying
But
in circles.
it's-
That's kind of how it'd be.
But like when you watch Last Man Standing, it's so dry in my opinion. And it's so like a family. I don't know. I
get
don't
it.
like my family, so when it comes to families, I don't think it's funny.
I get that, and it's hard to take let's say if you have a perspective,
Yeah.
a viewpoint, and it can be difficult to take the opposite viewpoint and make it funny always. So
Yeah.
I can get that. So I like that. I like that. You have a top tier username.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Extra gravy biscuit.
Yes,
So
I love it.
Please explain your Southern as hell self.
Okay, so
Like-
Martin's. Do you know what that is?
Martin's.
Martin's?
The potato roll?
You've lived in Georgia how long?
In 96?
And you don't know what a fucking Martin's is?
Wait, like a restaurant?
The restaurant, Martin's.
No, I
So
don't.
for those who aren't in Georgia or have been living under a rock, Martin's is a southern breakfast food place, and they are only open
Where
from
is
like
it?
there used to only be like 4 or 5, but now they've been building them fucking everywhere. I
Oh, really?
don't know. This is a rich area, so they're not put in rich areas. But it's like so. My parents were divorced when I was younger, and every other weekend I'd go over to my dad's house, and every Sunday we'd go to Martin's and get breakfast. And because
wow.
their lines, because they're only open till 3, so their lines on Sundays are like an hour long, and everybody will wait an hour long in the drive-thru to get Martin's.
Oh,
But
okay.
at Martin's, what I would get is a large sausage gravy biscuit and then 2 eggs with it, and it's delicious. I love it. It's 2
Yeah.
beautiful biscuits slathered in sausage gravy with some eggs.
I love Southern food.
It's great. Oh my God, heart attack in a dish. It's awesome.
So that's
but
where it came from?
Yeah, I like gravy biscuits,
Martin's.
and extra sounded cute, so I put it there.
Yeah, okay.
And it wasn't taken. All the other usernames I wanted were taken.
Oh, you know what? That's funny you say that because here are some screen names that may exist, but I don't know if they do, but they're Southern, and I think they're funny.
Please.
So here's Born in a Walmart.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fucking genius.
Well, Whistlin' Dixie Bro. And then there's Oh No, I Incest. Yeah. And then my favorite one is Pimpin' Grits.
I'm pissed I didn't pick that one.
Yeah.
There needs to be one that's
That's
like,
your burner account.
it needs to be like, don't tread on me 03 or some shit like that.
Usually. Yeah, usually. So you have we're at Chili's, right?
Yes, we're at Chili's.
What are you going to order every single time? Did you order it, or do you have like a go-to? What is
go-to is what I ordered today. I got honey chipotle, yes, because I will say chipotle sometimes.
Chipotle.
Yes, and I get made fun of, and I'm like, what are you talking about? The honey chipotle chicken crispers with fries and corn, and a strawberry lemonade because they're like the best here. They
Strawberry
actually make
lemonade
it.
is
Strawberry
pretty
lemonade
good.
is.
Is it better than Red Robin's? Because Red Robin.
I've been to Red Robin's once in Panama City and had an awful time, so I could not tell you.
I cannot believe they're still open. Like I cannot. It's amazing to me because I see, and it's not a bad place. It's just.
Do their fry covers not have a bottom? Because I think the Red Robin's I went to in Panama City, I thought I broke the fry container because I lifted it up and all the fries came out and I was like, oh fuck.
Oh, I think it was.
I guess I gotta clock
a
in.
paper cone. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a paper cone. But they have bottomless strawberry lemonade, and so
Yeah.
it some people say it's a scam because you can only drink a couple. Me, I can house 8.
Oh my god, easy.
You know, so good. But it's like $3 or $4 to get bottomless, and then you can buy bottomless fries. So
How could you
but,
not
but
do
I don't
that?
see anybody there. I drive by and the parking lot's empty. I'm like, how is this possible? And it's good. I haven't been there in like a year, so I can't say anything. I'm part of that crowd that's not there. So,
we're both just like not going in.
So your favorite foods are obviously Chili's is a restaurant on there. Southern food. So you're from the South.
Yes, I would say Tex-Mex probably technically because it's like This gonna sound so dumb. It's like I like quesadillas, I like chicken tenders, I like fries.
Quesadillas, yeah.
Anytime I go to a Tex-Mex restaurant, at least, it's like I like everything that's going to be on the menu.
It's hard to go wrong.
It literally is, especially at least in this country. Everything, if it's not slathered in cheese and salt, what am I doing?
Oh, you know what? I just had a conversation with Anant, and he's Indian, and I'm like, we talked about Andrew Schultz's bit about he said, you know, countries that beat their women, it's not bad, but they do have the best food.
Yes, because their women don't leave the kitchen.
Yeah, because their women don't leave the kitchen. I was like,
love it.
That's
it's so smart.
mean. But here's
that is
the thing.
Shit I wish I could write. Like I love how Andrew Schultz can culturally make jokes, and they're smart, and like I really wish I was smart enough to do that.
Yeah, that's a bite-worthy bit, and it might just stem from like other cultures have better food.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's true. Oh, and like if you ask like any group of white girls, where are we gonna go? Let's go get Mexican. Let's go get sushi. You know, that's it. They never go.
Dude, I went to an Indian food restaurant for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Where?
Indian food restaurant.
Okay.
It's called Taj Mahal, so you know it's legit.
Yeah,
right?
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be legit.
Gotta be.
Walked in, it was so quiet. Literally thought I got in trouble. I was like, wow, so this is the experience.
Oh, what? Okay.
It's like, oh.
Did you call your black friend
sorry.
and was like, hey, I get it now.
I wrote a bit about it, but I'm like, I gotta run this by somebody first because it's only I'm starting off with like this is all facts.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about what happened.
That's smart. And then calling someone, I talked to Kendall about an hour and a half about a joke, and I think it's so smart to do because if you have.
Do people get like weird if you ask them about a joke?
No.
Because I don't want them to be like, oh, this bitch is asking.
Honored. So if I were to if I had a bit about black people or black culture or anything like that, I would call my black comedian friends.
Yes.
Like I have a couple jokes about going to like the gay bar as a straight guy, and then going to Joe's on Juniper, which is apparently closed.
Damn.
And yeah, I didn't know that, but. You know, so I asked Connor because if you ask, you know, a material about gay people or gay culture or gay restaurants or anything like that, you ask a gay friend. Yeah. So that's how it goes. If I had like a lesbian joke, I would ask my lesbian.
Yes.
That's how it would go, and I think that's wise to do. Because you almost not only get a cosign, but you get like, oh, that's good, like a confirmation, like your head is in the right space. Yeah. You're not trying to offend anybody, but this is just how it is. True. You know, this is how this joke is, and this is how the experience is, and that's a really good thing.
I had a samosa for the first time. Tell me why that shit tasted like a Marie Callender's pot pie. Swear to God, I was like, yeah. Why haven't I been here before?
Yeah, I don't know what a samosa is.
Really? It's like a little, oh my God, I don't know if I even want to be,
white here.
I don't know if I'm also of that. I don't even know if I want to explain what a samosa is. Someone's going to be in the comments, that's wrong. It's like, it's like a little
bread filled with something?
Yeah, it's like all I can describe it from my perspective is it's like pot pie crust. Do you know what a pot pie is? Yeah. It's like pot pie crust, but then they have like veggies filled in it and like there's other stuff inside of it, and it's like a little, not a roll, but like a little thing. It's like an appetizer is at least what we got it. It's like this big.
It's like a stuffed pastry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
I can get down with that. So let me ask you, you're a lady in the comedy world.
Yes.
And luckily I wrote a joke about, I was researching, and I felt obligated to actually learn something in Women's History Month.
Good.
So I Googled the first female comedian. I wrote a joke about it. Her name was Fanny Bryce, and that's what
a name to be a comedian. That's perfect.
And I was like, well, what's a funny take on that? So she would do Follies, and Follies are variety shows. They, vaudeville kind of thing. Yeah. And she would do them as early as 1907, so like way back in the day.
Damn.
And the joke I wrote was, she would say funny things like, I want rights, and
everybody
women
would
should
laugh.
vote.
Yeah.
I have an opinion too, and the men would laugh. And I was like, that's funny that female comedy was born out of a woman just saying something. Like that's ridiculous and untrue. It's silly, but I was like, that's a good premise. Like, so it's not as bad as that, obviously.
No.
Because you can vote. Rock on.
Yes, I can vote.
Flip side of that coin, is there like a memorable joke that? Well, let me ask you first.
Okay.
Who is a bite-worthy female comedian that you know of, whether it's local or both?
Yeah. Locally bite-worthy female comedian. I'm just like stuck between two people, and I'm trying to think.
Name them both.
I would have to name like probably Liz and Gabby Watts. Liz Durr and Gabby Watts.
Gabby.
They're both just like really strong, and like when they get up there, I'm paying attention to them.
That's good.
Yeah.
You should. I came in comedy scene when Liz was writing her corn joke. And she
Nice.
Is this funny? I was like, please keep
Yeah,
that
she's asked.
joke.
She has. Oh my god, she
Please
has
keep
some
that
joke about
joke.
masturbating. I think she ran by me, and I was like, please do that one.
Yeah, it's funny.
Female comedian, famous-wise, Katherine Ryan, probably. The way her stage presence is awesome, her delivery is awesome,
Yeah.
her writing is awesome. She also has a good bit of material that's different, whereas like there's a couple comedians I want to get into, but all the videos that are out are just the same 5 minutes.
Oh, that
just
stinks.
at different places. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's cool. It's just like, I would like to hear more from you.
I want a club bit. I want
like a little bit
I want a
different. And
deep
Katherine
cut.
Ryan's been doing it for like a good second, so there's like, I don't know, there's a lot
That's
of material.
Good. That's good. Okay, very nice. Mine was Joan. We talked about
Yeah,
it.
Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is sick too. She's great.
So mean.
Yes.
So mean.
You want to know where I saw her first?
Where?
As the fucking announcer in Shrek. That's how I first found out about Joan Rivers. Oh my God, Hansel and Gretel! Oh, look at that.
That's her?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't know that.
That is Joan Rivers.
Oh my God. I'm learning so much
She's like the
today.
announcer,
it's
like,
spring
person.
It's Joan Rivers.
Bro, you taught me about the first female comedian. Look at this. Look at
Wow. We're learning.
this. Learning so much today.
So, is there a memorable good joke that you know where women were like the butt of the joke, like that you can think of? Because it's almost like playing devil's advocate, like, hey, that's funny, I see what you did there, and it's true. Do you have a joke like that?
Some dishwasher jokes are funny.
Yeah? Okay.
Sometimes, like, you have to be like, I either I could not have heard it before,
Yeah.
or like it can't just be so on the nose. My wife is a dishwasher, but sometimes,
You can subtly do
like
it.
I said one. I love making female jokes about like,
Nice.
I'll make jokes at work all the time, like, who the fuck let the women speak? Like, I love making shit like that. And there was one where I was like, we were talking about the draft in World War III, and I was like, well, they can't draft dishwashers, so.
That's pretty good.
So like
I
that
it.
that'll be fine. But like if you're blatantly just trying to shit on women because you had a bad relationship, like no. And you can
Fair
tell
enough.
those men very, very quickly.
Yeah, they give off a very I probably hit her in quiet vibe.
Yes,
Yeah,
very much
I
so.
get that. Okay, so the dishwasher jokes, that's good. I had one. I heard one where that guy was like, I'm trying to get in touch with my feminine side, so I crashed the car. I was like, oh, that's
Solid.
That's pretty funny.
That's solid.
I've never heard it. I mean, you've heard bad women driver jokes, but
I think
never.
Andrew Dice Clay, and I want to bring him up because Andrew Dice Clay made a lot of men think that they were funny when they weren't, but he himself was funny for his time.
He was.
But there's a lot of comedians who want to go do the same things as Andrew Dice Clay, talk about like gay people and like Asian people and stuff, and like you can't do
different.
that.
Not only is it a different time, but if you're the first to say what some people are thinking or never
Comedians
did that,
have never been the majority, and that's what has been interesting about the Dave Chappelle controversy,
that.
because comedians have never been for the majority. Comedians have always been the people saying shit that nobody else wants to say, despite what that reaction might entail.
I try and push the envelope a little bit. Actually, I kind of just.
And I don't think like all comedians have to, but I think comedians are the type of people to do that.
Yeah, it's a very punk rock thing.
Yes,
to do.
100%.
You don't tell me what to do.
No.
And there are unwritten rules in comedy. And,
Absolutely, just like
and
social
stuff.
rules.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the one guy, like don't just like talk during people's set.
That's not. I still haven't had that yet. I don't think it's because I stand tall and command respect or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of I haven't been. It's just the sheer amount of times you go up on stage versus how many hecklers you get or people talking. It's got to be a lot of stage time for that to happen because nearly every time I go to a show, everybody's there for comedy and they get that, and that's fine. Now, if you go to a punchline show, I was at Felipe Esparza, and this woman stood up, white. She was like pumpkin spice latte. She was white, and she started speaking. She goes, "Excuse me, senor," out like loud, and she started speaking Spanish.
Mom, sit down.
Oh, it was so bad, and I was like, "That is ruthless." And he was nice at first, and I've never had even anything close to that.
No.
I think I've had a couple people. Be like, "Do you want to split it?" And talk about the check, and that's it. Like, it's the closest I can come to thinking that. So that's a wild one. So I tried to do some research, and I found a fart joke that you did.
Fun.
And my question is, do you have a favorite fart?
Yes.
That either you've done or someone.
Silent but deadly. Those are, because I generally, which is in my brain what makes that fart joke that I tell so much funnier, because when I fart, you generally won't know. Like, my farts are very quiet,
it's
very
like
under the
coronavirus,
rug.
it just comes.
Yeah, it just comes, you don't even know it. You're like, who the fuck was that? I'm like, the cat.
Bye. I don't know. I don't know.
But when I fart loud, I make it an experience. I'm like, everybody has to, this has never happened.
You're 0 or 100.
Yeah, I'm like, everybody quiet.
That's fine. I'll tell you, I have a favorite fart. It's not a type of fart. It's a fart that I did. So
good.
I was living with my stepdad at the time, and I had 2 cats. And
kinky.
yeah, and one was sleeping right behind me, and one was sleeping right beside me. And they were like anchors, like paperweights on the blanket, and I couldn't move, but I had to get up, and I knew I had to fart real loud. So I held it in, and this cat was like sleeping right behind my butt. And I held it in, and I just go, like really loud. And the cat got so scared.
Someone turned around when you did that.
Oh, nice. So I scared 2 people. The cat, I scared off the bed. Like, so I farted a cat off the bed, and I laughed for like 4 minutes. Like, one of those laughs where you're like, ow, ow, like side splitting laughter. And it was so stupid because no one was there.
You just Dutch up in the fucking cat.
It was so wild. Yeah, that's my favorite fart.
That's a good favorite fart.
That's a good fart, because
farting so loud, pussies get scared.
And here's on the subject of comedy.
Yes.
Pussies get scared. I just caught that. Subtle, like your farts. So I was researching the first joke that I think ever recorded was in ancient Sumeria, and it was a fart joke. It was
Genius.
What is some long I word in what is in the immemorial? A young girl never farted on her husband's lap. I might be butchering the joke. I don't really get it, but it's the first thing that.
Back then the Egyptians were.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, you can see premise and punchline. I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
That's an elevated consciousness.
Yeah, and it's just so crazy to me that the first joke. I mean, you gotta think people have been around for thousands and thousands and.
Do you think like people like Homo erectuses were? I don't know if that's a plural name, but
Homo
you think
erecti?
Homo erecti and Homo habilis were like cracking jokes with each other?
I mean, you have to think so.
Because like I think jokes for people like because language was very much a human thing. So like I like to think of the ancient humans like just putting a rock in front of another one and then like watching them fall and then just like all laughing at them.
Yeah, because that's there has to be this natural, and that's the thing about slapstick comedy is and I've said this before on another episode, and I'll repeat myself again, and I don't care. is that I grew up watching like the Three Stooges, and because I'm old, and Three Stooges, they did a lot of bonking on the head and everything. The part that I like about them was they would have these little, like they'd be in an office building, and the detective would be like, see more butts, or something
stupid,
clever but silly and stupid. But for slapstick comedy, you don't need words.
No.
You can just act it out with your face, with props.
I will say
and
though,
things.
with that, there is like a fine line between like this is funny and this is cringy.
Oh well, yeah.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is like wonderful, but a terrible movie.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
great, but like terrible movie.
I get that.
But Jim Carrey has like a great way of like, I think, blending slapstick and like being smart with his humor and
I would say
acting
so.
choices.
I remember watching him on In Living Color.
My dad showed me a bunch of In Living Color because
Because I'm almost your dad's age. That's crazy. I'm so
almost,
old.
but you're not. So
Yeah.
there you go. Don't stop telling yourself you're
look
old.
it.
No, you
So,
don't.
That's cool.
Just for the record, Ryan's 28 and he's loving life as a 28-year-old. Been talking about as fellow 20-year-olds do.
Yeah, that's right. We'll put that on the internet and keep it there for truth.
As fellow 20-year-olds.
But it's so wild to me that you have to think that people back in in the caves or anywhere were farting on each other. Or
Yes.
has to be.
Yo, and those farts were rank. They were eating like
God.
meat out of the animal.
Yeah.
Farm to table, but
Oh
like
my
farm
God.
to stomach.
So true.
So their farts were
God.
killing bitches.
Yeah, they sure were.
I would laugh if somebody died from a fart. Are you fucking kidding me?
There's got to be on record, and I bet it would be in Florida. like if the killer fart. Like that sounds like a sci-fi
The killer
movie,
fart.
You know?
Yeah, whoever made Sharknado, that needs to be the next one.
Killer fart. Like it's a fart so bad that it spreads.
Turns into like a ghost.
Yeah, or like it'd be like, you know how allegedly coronavirus started as bat soup.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And so like if that was the case, and then like a fart was so potent that it developed bacteria and it just spread.
Traveled the Silk Roads. Killed everybody.
Maybe we're onto something. We're talking about writing movies. I think this is
the Men Who Stare at Goats, but the fart that becomes a ghost.
That's an underrated movie.
I would have to watch it again because the first time I was not impressed.
It was.
And then I was like, I don't think I'm
it's
gonna
one
go
of
back
those
to
movies. I'll say that like a lot of people hate Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes, but a
And
classic.
Here's the thing: I watched it the first time and I didn't laugh, not once. I watched it a second time and I cried laughing. So it's so weird how sometimes and we hear comedians' jokes, right?
Yeah.
We hear them over
And
over
over, mama.
And so sometimes when I hear a joke, I don't laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and I guess it's kind of rare that this happens, but I'll hear it the second time and I'll like, I'll get what they're trying
absolutely.
to do. It's like, and then it makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, that's a.
I think SNL is kind of the same in that relationship where it's like there are certain sketches that like aren't funny for the first minute, but they surpass such a time that it becomes funnier. Like the longer it goes on, but there's an art to that. Like some sketches are just way too long and they're never funny, start to finish. But there was a sketch. I just watch SNL just cause.
Right.
But there was a sketch last week where they like they couldn't find their cat in their room, and it was like at first me and Kendall were watching it and we're like, this isn't funny at all. Why are they doing this? And then like 2 minutes pass and we're like, okay, they still can't find the cat. This is funny. And like and then we're sitting there, we're like, I want to know the math between like how long a sketch has to be when it's unfunny, but then it starts to become funny. Like what is that time length for something to become funny?
Yeah, there's got to be this magic, like 2, 3, 10 minutes.
Dude, there has to be a number there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of sketches turn out like that. Like they start unfunny. John Mulaney's most recent episode, same way. He had a sketch where he was a gorilla judge, and at first I'm like, this is fucking stupid. But then he got to this joke where he goes, okay, now I'm gonna throw sand at you to assert dominance, and then I'm like, okay,
All right.
now I'm getting there.
I
now
like
it's
it.
pulling me in. This is funny.
Yeah, and he is a great joke writer.
A genius.
When I was taking notes, and one of the things that helped me was I wrote out word for word parts of a special, I would take 3 minutes of
do
a
that.
special, and then you write it down word for word, and then you just look at it. You don't take it, you don't examine it, you don't like steal from it, but you learn and you glean from it,
from structure,
format, and things like.
I'll take
wow.
I would take Bo Burnham's over the summer. Last summer, I did like a shit ton of writing, and I would take Bo Burnham's songs and I would write them word for word or like phrase for phrase, and then write like what it meant to me or
What's
like
your
what
favorite Bo Burnham song?
Art is Dead, hands down, girl. That is on my like playlist.
Same.
Like that, I will
Same.
scream to. Like I violently love that song.
How do you get those people's money?
Yeah,
That's a good
love
one.
that song. Words is like my favorite album of his though. Like I love it. It's
He's different, man. He's so different.
super different, and I love Inside too. I have Inside on record, so like.
Let me tell you, I don't tear up too often, but
That is something I wish I could watch for the first time again.
that's a good way to say it.
It's something I remember the first time watching it, and I was like, fucking genius. Like, I wish I could do this.
Yeah, and you don't know if he's kidding the whole time. He's not. He is, but he's not.
He has such a.
He's aware, but he's vulnerable. And then most people.
And he does it all himself.
And I don't really. I'm not one of those people that say music changed my life or art changed my whole world. This person saved me from. I mean,
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, if you are.
Yeah, if you need that, that's
but
cool.
I'm not that, and it's very rare that something like, ooh, I see what you
Yes.
did, man. I see it. I don't really.
Welcome
I
to
don't-
the internet. When I heard that the first
Yeah.
time, chills. I was like, this is, oh my god, how has no one personified the internet like in this sort of way? It was like
that
so
way.
genius.
Because there was a skit where Dave Chappelle walked into the internet, but
Yes.
like if the internet was a store.
Yeah.
That's like a similar take, but this was like more satirical. I've never heard a song about it.
Do you
That's a
ever
good
notice? Because I do, because I watch a shit ton of just comedy, stand-up, anything in media. Do you ever, or can you, and have you ever been able to tell when a comedian is performing and where they got their joke from?
That's a good. Now you're asking good questions.
Because I have a couple times, like there's some niche comedians that like I'll watch that got popular that like aren't as popular as like John Mulaney, I would say. And there are some comedians that I will see them do a joke and it's not the same joke verbatim, but it's very derivative of that. And I like to think back to when everybody got pissed at Amy Schumer for stealing David Tell's joke, which is weird because everybody got pissed at Amy Schumer for that because he said that drinking and blacking out was like time travel. And then Amy Schumer went out on stage and was like, you know when you black out and it's like you go into a different time, like you don't even know where you're at. And everybody said that was stealing. So I like to use that as a guide for like what stealing, not use that, but like I'll put that same logic to some comedians' jokes sometimes and be like,
Yeah.
okay, is this stealing or were you just inspired or like, I don't know. It's a very...
I can see usually if and it's hard. It's really hard with
When comedians are influenced by John Mulaney, you can fucking tell.
You can.
You can fucking tell because they will have the same vocal inflection and the same
You
like...
can't, and that's you
build.
still you don't maybe you don't bite the material, but you can definitely like. If I were to be like, ha jokes, that's Mark Norman, like.
Or Jerry Seinfeld, like, a strawberry lemonade. You put the strawberries in the lemonade. What is that about? Like, you can't.
you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And other people may not, and that you can get over, but time will serve.
Time will show.
I can't
Have you been able to tell?
I can't. I know. You know what? The only thing that I can see is when I know that someone went through something. Like Carlos Rodriguez is a comedian that I met. He opened for Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's a great comedian. He closed the alumni show. He actually was in Keenan's experience. He was
awesome.
great. He was part of that. Very funny comedian, and he tells a bit about renting a car and this girl mispronouncing the name, and then it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
But I can tell, and he further explained, like, I can tell that he did this one thing.
Yeah.
Like, this story is true because with such specificity, he mentioned this car and person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can see where, and it's usually a story or family material. Like, my girlfriend says this. They almost tell you that.
Yeah.
But I can't really tell when someone pulls a joke from somewhere. it's hard to kind of.
It definitely is, but I will say I see it more with comedians in the scene taking jokes derivative from other comedians in the scene.
I've seen it with a little bit like racial humor.
Okay, yeah.
White girl humor.
Racial humor, absolutely. Astrology humor.
I'm
not saying this just because I'm an astrology hoe. I'm just saying that if you're getting your astrology jokes from Twitter, don't fucking tell them. Like, I know where it's from. Like, I'm sorry, but there's so many dudes that'll be like, you're not Pisces, you're just a bitch. And it's like, like, please say that one more time, fucking Steven. Like, you know, not naming anybody, just a white guy name. Just like,
that's a white guy
name. It's just like, you know, the same fucking material over and over. But there was, I'm not gonna name any names, but there was a comedian in particular who had a joke about like building someone's bed because you want to have sex with them. And that is absolutely derivative of another joke from another comedian in our scene that has a joke about wanting to, and he's pretty popular, who he has essentially the same joke, like wanting to build someone's furniture faster because you want to have sex with them. And granted,
and that's an awfully specific thing.
Yeah, and it's
you
like,
can't really chalk that up to parallel thought.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain times where I'm like, I want to believe that the comedians are just like in the same line of thought, but there's certain events that have happened that I just, you know, you feel like it's not stealing, but you didn't have anything better to write. Yeah.
That does stand.
That's where I like to take subjects that haven't been talked about and write about them. And I can't say I do that obviously for every joke, but like I've never heard a Waffle House joke other than I'm drunk in a Waffle House.
Yeah, I only have one punchline about Waffle House, and it's a joke that I have that violent crimes trigger my food cravings. And they're like, one lady and I told that joke at the Skull, and a lady goes, "What?" I'm like, I'll explain it to you. Don't worry. Like, she goes, "What?" And so, I mentioned Waffle House in one of the lines.
Waffle House jokes do great in this area.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
I can't take that to Cleveland.
I want to take it up north, and I want to make it a bit about like they don't know what a Waffle House is.
Yeah, you'd have to. What's the closest thing?
Rework it.
Bob Evans is the closest thing to a Waffle House up there. Maybe IHOP.
Yeah. Do they have IHOP? I went to New York for a day. It was fucking terrible.
It's international. They have them everywhere.
Oh.
But you know what's funny? I don't know if they have IHOP in every country. If they don't, I'm gonna sue them. No, but
suing the name. You're just House of Pancakes now.
You're
just Hop.
You're just national. Sometimes House of Pancakes.
The Hop.
The Hop. Nahop. Nhop. Like in sync, but this bit got away from us. But but I think that if you were to rework a joke and learn regional stuff, and I hate when I haven't seen any egregious cases of stealing material.
No, it's never been like, I've never seen.
But it's like one or two jokes. It's like,
I will say verbatim, when a joke has been stolen, the comedians have been on stage and been like, "Oh, I've stolen that joke. Okay, anyway," and they'll like move on.
You know, and that's a really admirable thing to do.
Yes.
If you get caught or if you
just fucking do it. Just
fall
own up
on
to it. Just
your
be like,
own
"Sorry,
sword."
bye." And like, I absolutely respect that, dude. Just know your place, but don't try to pass it off as yours.
I accidentally pulled from a Tom Segura bit.
And it happens too when you're like nervous, especially if you don't got shit to say. Like, I absolutely understand that.
Well, I wrote it. it's a little different. But it was the same. It's the same. It was a joke about, like, 'cause I don't know my dad. I wrote a joke about it, and they're the benefits of not knowing your dad. Mm-hmm. That's the funny take on that. And when I listened to it, and then I listened to Tom Segura's special, it's too close for my comfort.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
I didn't feel good about that. And then we talked about that grammar Nazi joke where that's a verbatim college humor sketch.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't tell that joke. So I didn't. I never did. I want to because it's super funny.
Now I think getting inspired by comedians is different, because Bill Hicks's abortion bit is what inspired my bit about abortion, but they're two totally different takes about abortion.
You can have because it's inevitable that you're going to talk about.
Everybody has like
you're going to not talk about family, religion, politics, cars, any general subject.
You can't. Nobody can claim like sovereignty over a genre of talk.
Yeah,
like absolutely.
It's too
but
big.
There's absolutely stealing as far as stealing jokes. Like
the biggest worst cases where Schumer was one of them that got accused of that a lot.
And then named her baby David Tell.
Yeah.
No, her baby's name is Genital Fisher. It's Jean Attell Fisher, but if you say it fast, it's Genital Fisher.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that a stolen joke?
No.
That's just hers?
Yeah. Her baby's name is Jean Attell, and I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, that sounds like genital, dude. That baby's gonna get fucking made fun of, bro.
Genital Fisher sounds like something you have on your taint.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah, that's crazy.
I would be Schumer's baby.
We'll give her, I'd be okay with that. You have to give her that one.
Yeah.
But like another one was Carlos Mencia.
Yes, that was a big one.
That was a big deal. And here's the thing, when you don't know that a bit is not theirs. Like I didn't know that there was a racial stereotype kind of bit that he did that was I think it was the Racial Olympics, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And the exposure of it was that it was almost to the T a bit from a morning radio show. And so it's not always like comedians stealing from other comedians, it's comedians stealing from radio.
YouTube videos?
YouTube, that's a big one.
Yes, absolutely. I have seen a couple comedians who have gotten jokes from like YouTube for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like a couple.
What do you feel?
Let's
Okay,
hear it.
hot take. What do you feel about comedians that use their tweets as material? Like if you heard them do a joke and then you go to their Twitter and they have like literally the same exact joke in their Twitter. Because that's an opinion I don't know how to have yet.
I've been guilty of that,
Okay.
but only the inverse of that.
Okay.
So I'll wrote a joke and then I'll share it as
Yes.
a tweet. So it's different for me. I won't write a tweet and be like, hey, that'd make a funny bit.
Yeah.
I can't say that's not a bad thing. Some people might see it as kitschy or hacky, but
Hacky, that's interesting. That's a word I've
I don't
also
think
had
so.
to like. A lot of people use hack, but they mean different things.
No, hack is specific. Hack is this guy is a chump. This guy is his jokes are
Would you say one-sided?
there's so many things that a hack could. Well, I guess it is not specific because I have heard people say that guy's a hack. Like he's just a bad comic.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
we
saying.
say-
Like some
we
people
say a
use
doctor
it like
is a
inversely. Whenever I hear hack, I'm thinking politics or like race or religion, where it's like they're very hacky about their beliefs and hacky, and that they're very adamant that their
Yeah.
beliefs are
Yeah.
the correct ones.
Or if a comedian is just if he curses too much and he just says like pussy or cum.
Yeah.
That's kind of hacky.
So while we're on the record, what's your astrology sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius? You look like an Aquarius.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
I don't know if I should
I don't
thank
know.
you or
I
punch
work
you.
with. No, it's not bad. I work with
Oh, cool. Thanks.
everybody. Part of the reason I believe in astrology is because everywhere that I've worked, if you like ask people their astrology at work, there are patterns. Like you will work in a certain like astrologically heavy place. So everybody at my
Yeah.
work is an Aquarius. Like most of the people in the kitchen are an Aquarius. Most of the people on the floor are an
You
Aquarius.
still work in a kitchen?
I have never worked with another Gemini. I have
wow.
always been the only Gemini working at every place that I've worked at. And it's either the Gemini that, if they had a Gemini, they got fired as soon as I got hired, or like there will just not be another Gemini
It's
while
like
I'm working there.
Highlander. There can only be one.
It's weird, but part of the reason is just because I don't think patterns like that happen just for no reason. That's very interesting.
It's very possible. I'll give it that.
Aquariuses are very thinky people.
I like to think through my jokes. I like to think before I act most of the time.
And you're thinking this whole thing through and planning it and stuff?
I'm thinking it's a good idea. I hope so.
I think you're right.
Yay! Good.
Good. Do you know what your sun or your moon sign is, or your rising sign? Oh, your sun sign would be Aquarius. But do you know your moon or your Venus or anything like that?
I think I saw it the other day because I was looking up what celebrities I share the same birthday
Oh,
with.
good.
To give me some street cred, J. Cole. So that's
Look
pretty
at
cool.
him! Look at him!
And he
Look at
does
this
have
guy.
he has a song named January 28th. So
Oh,
I mean
nice.
that's my like. Oh, damn!
Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Have you ever had somebody read your birth chart? Do you know your time that you were born?
10:05 a.m.
Would you let me read your birth chart?
Now?
Yes.
No. God, no. At a Chili's?
Yes, at a Chili's.
No.
What better time than a Chili's?
We can do that off camera. You let me know what's up, and then I'll
let you know why your problems
Yeah.
are your problems. I'll let you know, why your dick don't work, why
Oh,
you
man.
like feet, everything.
I didn't even tell her that.
You could just use an Aquarius.
Or a short guy thing. No, maybe, yeah, we can do that. We can do that
I would love to.
afterwards.
It'd be a lot of fun.
But we'll wrap it up here. What do you have to plug or promote? Follow Extra Gravy Biscuit.
Extra Gravy Biscuit on mostly everything. My Twitter. I want to plug my Twitter the most because I only have 16 followers, and I just tweeted a Scooby Doo bong. So you guys should go retweet that.
At Extra Gravy Biscuit.
It's Extra Gravy Biscuit, but it is without the E. So like extra XTRA.
Oh,
Gravy
XTRA.
Biscuit. Yeah.
I was like, where is there an
no,
E?
No, just without the E. Extra
My
Gravy
dick
Biscuit.
doesn't work, and now that it's my brain. Like, what is going on here?
So it's Extra Gravy Biscuit on TikTok and Instagram, and then Extra without the E on Twitter.
Okay, are you going to be performing anywhere soon?
Yes, I'm performing at Third Place on Thursday. Yes, I'm so happy I got booked for that.
Okay.
Third Place on Thursday. Then I'm doing the April Cruel show, which is April 1st. You just follow my Instagram
I wanna
for all
go to
that.
that one.
It's gonna be fun. It's a dark humor competition. So, Mama, that was good. I'm pulling him out. I'm pulling out the material.
Wow.
And then April 2nd, Miguel has me booked for. He's doing like an improv festival type thing where I guess
I heard Miguel
they're
does
doing
that.
like
Sweet
improv
dude, by the
shows.
way.
Miguel's like the best,
Yeah,
dude. Oh my God,
good dude.
what a papa.
Yeah, he is. He's
What a
definitely
papa. But he's doing a thing where he has a bunch of improv troops performing, and then in between that, he's going to have stand-ups doing stand-up. So I'm going to do that, yeah.
Cool beans.
Absolutely. So you can see me everywhere around Atlanta every week, all the fucking time.
Yeah, very, very funny. Okay, well, I don't really have anything else. I guess I'm going to get my star chart?
Your birth chart!
Birth chart
Yes!
read, so that's it.
Thank you so much. This was so fun.
Of course.